Good evening. So welcome to the live match reaction, and obviously our usual get amped episode. I was at my sister's. So obviously it was my sister's traditional wedding last week, and yesterday was her official white wedding. Hence I couldn't do the match reaction last night, but we're here now. And I got mixed feelings. Got mixed feelings about yesterday. But first things first, obviously, as you come in, like the stream, share the stream, subscribe, tell your friends, your family, everyone. Sunday nights is the opportunity to talk to as many fans as possible from whatever club they support. But let's talk about yesterday's game. Oh, and before I start, obviously, if you see the link, I believe I've pinned it to the comments. So if you want to call in and have your say, that's the link to do so. And if you can't see it, I'm gonna drop it again. But yeah, the scoreline was mad harsh. Extremely harsh. First thing first, I want to say, listen, Patrick Vieira, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it is so refreshing that we're now going to the bigger sides in a sense, and we're actually trying to impose ourselves in the game. It looks like it's long gone the days of just kind of parking the bus and kind of hoping for a chance to drop to us. You know what I mean? So like really excited and really happy about the fact that we've had Liverpool and Tottenham back to back, and we've given a good account of ourselves on both occasions. We started very well, actually. Hit the post. Alisson was scrambling, not to get the post. Benteke hit the post as well. So we actually started off really brightly, which was exciting to see. And then I think up until the 30th minute mark, I think we wasn't troubled, I'd say. We wasn't troubled. We're playing good football, trying to impose ourselves. And that's obviously difficult at a place like Anfield. From the 30-minute mark, obviously Liverpool's class started to show through. And they started to gain a bit more possession, like succession of corners. Jota missed an absolute sitter. So obviously like the warning signs was starting to come. But this leads to my first gripe. And it's not like a gripe at management and stuff. It's so annoying to concede all 3 goals from corners. I guess on the plus side, if it's from set pieces, these are things you can work on. As opposed to if we're getting like carved on open time and time again, that would be worrying, because we weren't carved open. But it was just all lapses of concentration on all 3 of them. So I'll break it down. The first one, Salah, of all people's got a free header inside the 18-yard box. And obviously Mane's followed up from the rebounds. A decent save from Gaeta, actually a very good save. The second one, Gyro's he's just lost Salah. Van Dijk's got the flick on. Gyro's just lost his man. And the final one, I think VG could have caught the ball. He's punched it out, and fair play to Gaeta. It's a great finish. Fantastic volley, but I really thought he could have just caught the ball. Yes, we were 2-0 down at the time, but it's just catching the ball just relieves the pressure. Punching it out could go anywhere, and it landed right at Keita, and he's struck it sweet left foot volley. The back 4 were excellent, to be fair. Mitchell for me was man of the match. He kept Salah really quiet, to be honest. Really imposed himself, and really, really exciting future. I think it's already like news of like Tottenham are now sniffing around wanting him and stuff. So he's obviously doing really well, because obviously other clubs are looking to come in for him. I'm going to come to the penalty thing last, actually, because that really annoyed me. But obviously, I think another pivotal moment was at 1-0, and had Edouard had a better touch, he himself could have scored. I think Gallagher had a heavy touch at one point, and he could have had a shot off. It's just it's just these fine margins, which things went for Liverpool. A lot of things went for Liverpool, and which didn't go for us. Which is, and like I said, that's why I feel like the scoreline was harsh. Mane gets his customary goal against us. This guy doesn't score past anyone but us at this rate. He's not at the best of starts of the season, and there he goes. He pops up with a goal against us, which is obviously frustrating. I don't know what else I can say. I'm so proud of the boys. Like I said at the start, I'm so proud of the fact of how we're playing. I'm so glad that we're no longer going to like playing against a Tottenham and a Liverpool and we're just defensive. There was a Liverpool fan that actually tweeted at the end of the game just saying, listen, the way you lot played, you lot didn't deserve to lose 3-0. And he was concerned himself, like with how we were playing. So it was good that a Liverpool fan himself had seen the progress that we've been making. And that's credit to the coaching staff. But this penalty decision, now it's 0-0, 37th, 38th minute. Not saying we would have gone on to win, but decisions like this become very costly. All right, cool. If the referee hasn't seen it, that's one thing. But how he's not got a whisper in the ear to take a look at this or something? I'm sure that's what VAR was introduced for, to be able to assist the referee in case there's something that's missed. And literally there was nothing. To the point where even the mainstream media, when they were reporting it, because I was on YouTube looking at the highlights from Sky. I watched a bit of Match of the Day, and nothing was mentioned of it. And I guess this is what the big six teams, the big teams seem to get. They seem to get these things in their favor, and it's annoying because, like I said, who knows if we would have gone on to win the game from that point, but it would have given us a foothold and it would have given us something, or at least a chance to have something to defend. Now, that same refereeing mistake was actually made in the Manchester United West Ham game today, because Ronaldo, towards the last couple minutes, I believe it was, he got fouled by previous. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And nothing was given. And then obviously West Ham went up the other end and they got a penalty of their own. But once again, it's the fact that it's not being checked. And I don't know if there's a new rule that's been saying that the referee decision is final and VAR's not going to intervene. I don't know, but these decisions are going to be costly. This could happen in the last day of the season and a club get relegated from it, or a club could miss out on winning the championship from the league from it. They've got to tighten this up because it's absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Shocking refereeing there. And then on the other side, the flip side to it, I'm sure James Milner had about 7-8 fouls. And I don't even think he got booked. Did he even get a talking to? It just seemed like all these decisions were going in Liverpool's favour, which was, it's just annoying. Absolutely annoying. But you know what? I want to take the viewpoint from someone who actually regularly goes to games. I'm going to bring in Luke here. Yes, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. A bit disappointed about the result yesterday, but I think we've got to take some positives. Until Liverpool scored at half-time, I think until up towards the 60th, 65th minute, we kind of matched them. We matched them toe-to-toe. Just there's a few errors in there I think we need to work on. Obviously, Vieira pointed out yesterday. Set plays. I think that's the reason why Benteke is in there. Benteke, he clears a lot of balls from corners. That's why he's so important to us defensively and probably to us attacking. And we had if you remember, like the first 2 minutes or 3 minutes of the game, Zaha got into like a little bit of scramble with Allison. Sort of, I don't know. I think did he touch it a little bit and it hit the post, and then I think I watched it, and then I watched it again. And then a few minutes later, Benteke sort of headed it and he hit the post. And that's where Benteke is very vital to us, attacking and defensively.
Yeah.
But I think Edouard doesn't have that yet. He doesn't have that sort of capability in the air of trying to clear a ball from an opposition's corner or trying to head from a corner. I think Edouard still needs to work on his game in terms of aerial presence and also sort of awareness, because I remember he had a few chances yesterday and his touch seemed a bit off yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know what you think. Do you think he's getting used to the league still, or do you think he's still not fit yet, Edouard?
I think he's ready to start, but obviously Patrick you know what, like, I'm not surprised he started with the same team that beat Tottenham, because you don't really want to start changing a winning side. He's got a big decision to make against Brighton though, because personally, I would start Edouard. I think he's a bit more dynamic, and that's not taking away what, as you said, what Benteke can bring to the forefront. But I
thought he was okay yesterday.
I mean, he works hard, but we're talking about offering something in the final third. I believe it's no goals and no assists in like a total of 60 games or something like that. It's actually, let me rephrase that, because that will do it no justice. I think it's 34 games, no goals, 19 games, no assists, or something like that. And it's just the decision making. You know, there's one way he's down the right hand side, and he could have, even if he had attempted to get it to across the box to like Zaha, who's running on the far post, and it gets blocked. At least you've opened your eyes, you know. And he's tried to have a shot. You know, his free kick. Why is he on free kick duty?
I think we've got to put it into consideration. I think Olise, when he came on for those final 6 or 7 minutes that he had, you got to say he looked much better than Ayew. But I think Ayew had a good game yesterday. But I think it's time for Olise. I think it's time. His time's here. But is he fit to start? I think Vieira is trying to be cautious a little bit with.
Yeah, he is, to be fair.
With players coming back from injury. Because if you remember, I think Olise did have the same injury as Rashford's got.
Yeah.
And Rashford is struggling, isn't he, with it, trying to come back. Obviously that injury is quite serious, because if you remember, I think it was either Van Persie or I think it was Fernando Torres or Van Persie. They had those types of shoulder injuries, and it can really hurt you, and it can go towards your lower back, and then you can get a hamstring injury or whatever. So I think Vieira is trying to be cautious with the injuries, and that's where I think Eze's had a long injury, and he's had one of the worst injuries that you can get in football, except for a leg break. But that's Eze. You've got, apparently he's coming back towards the end of October. Apparently,
yeah.
And I think with Eze and Olise, they're still very young. And if they just come back from long injuries, you've got to be careful with them. And I think Vieira has been careful. So,
no, I agree. Just before I ask you next question, just gonna address the comments. So Hamza's here. Big up. He's a Man United fan, by the way. Oh, sorry. Disappointed from your team, not getting the job done. Behave. But he does say that we were unlucky. We were. Talk about Edward missing loads. You know, I feel with Edward, sometimes, you know, when you come off and your team's winning, you're a bit more relaxed. But when you come on and you're losing, and especially it was only 1-0 at the time, like I think players feel a bit rushed, and it's like, oh, I got to make an immediate impact. So it happens. It's football, you know. It is football. Referee this week were crap, 100%. Michael described Darling. The way VAR is used lacks transparency. I totally agree. If you watch other games like rugby and football, their versions of VAR are explained to the fans and the refs step by step. Rugby's had that going on for time. They've had that going on for a long time. There was a clip that was going around, I think it was in Australia, where you could clearly see the referee and hear the referee talking to the VAR official, and you can hear the conversation they're having, and it's just so clear. So clear. They're communicating and saying, "Oh, I think you should have another look at this. Like you've given a yellow. What do you think?" That's how it should be used, and at least then the fans can have an idea of, okay, you know what? At least they're being transparent, as Michael said. I know he's referring to cricket, and obviously mentioning football again. But the fact that it just didn't even get looked at, you know, this is what CJ is talking about here. Clear pen, and VAR didn't even bother look at it. You know, didn't even have a look. As I said, would have been a different game if the pen had been given and the players get bookings. And obviously, I definitely addressed that at the start. It's I don't know. What's your thoughts on the decision, the Benteke?
It should have been a pen. I mean, I looked back at it like 4 times now. It's like, but it should have been a penalty. But going back on VAR now, this VAR business, not just us, but with every single other club, it's been happening since the start of the season. It's been happening for the past 4 or 5 weeks now since the start, and it's like, come on, just give one. Have you realised that last season it was happening a lot? VAR, it was being looked at a lot of times, but this season it's not been looked at. Is there a rule changed or?
I know with regards to offsides, they've made the lines thicker to give the attacker the advantage. Because I know we had a lot of like big toes and armpit hairs that were offside and stuff, which was a bit mad. But you know what? I don't know if there's been a rule change, but like I said in the United West Ham game today, the Ronaldo one where he got found in the box wasn't looked at, but the Shaw handball was looked at. You know, and the thing is, the linesman gave a corner, but then the referee, I think it was Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was Mike Dean, but he got a whisper in his ear. So that same whisper in the ear should have been happening for our game yesterday and for the Ronaldo incident today, which shows the lack of consistency. The absolute lack of consistency in this. I don't know. Let's just hypothetically say we got the penalty. How do you think the game would have gone?
If the penalty was given and if we scored it, I think it would have been a completely different game. But apart from the 3 goals from Liverpool, we played very well. But what I said to Palace fan yesterday, I think it is because we have a new squad, because it's Anfield. I think the occasion sort of got to the players a little bit. So, and we came off back of a 3-0 win. I think it gave us we were a bit too high on confidence. So,
You reckon?
But yeah, I think we were a bit too high on confidence.
Interesting viewpoint. I mean, I don't think confidence is a bad thing. And like I said, the last 2 games, despite the scoreline, the football we've played is phenomenal. How many teams go to Anfield and impose themselves? You know, Liverpool
Very true.
really struggled. You know, they really, really did struggle.
Did you? Can I just say something? Did you listen
Yeah.
to Klopp's thing? He said that was the hardest 3-0 defeat, 3-0 win that they've had for a long time.
Yeah. You know, this is the thing with football. Like it's fine margins. We get the pen that could just shift the game. We take one of our chances that could shift the game. You know, the fortunate thing with Liverpool is they had about 5 chances. Jota missing when he smashed it over the bar. Henderson's volley was decent. And then the 3 goals they scored, I don't recall anything else. You know, it's just they were just clinical, in my personal opinion. But what did you like about what we did yesterday?
Well, I like the way that we, as you mentioned, the way that we went at them. It's just, if you looked at last season, we didn't really give it a go. And just to give you a stat here, we had about 40% possession. We had 40% possession yesterday. And if you look at last season, maybe, we probably would have had 20% possession. So I like the way that we kept the ball, and I like the way that we tried to go at them. So, and also, I had a bit of comparisons last week, from last week and this week. Last week, and it's all about consistency in the Premier League, and that's where we've got to give a mention to Liverpool, right? Liverpool, that starting 11, they've been consistent over the past 3 to 4 years. They won back to back, won the Premier League, and they won the Champions League back to back. That's why they're so consistent. That's why they're such a good team. And then if we look at where we are right now, we're starting to build a new team. We're not consistent yet, but that will come. Right, last week, our 2 centre-backs played brilliant. They were probably our best performances on the pitch last week against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Now, against Liverpool, our 2 fullbacks were fantastic, but our 2 centre-backs weren't on it. But our 2 fullbacks were brilliant. Mitchell was fantastic, had Mo Salah in his pocket. Joel Ward was just Joel Ward. He kept it simple. So, and that's where consistency comes in. If we can keep consistent and get a win or a few points on the run, and we've got a few games coming up that we can win, then I think we'll be fine this season.
Yeah, and this is what I love about fan opinion, because you mentioned that the centre backs didn't have the best of games, you reckon, but I think they were great, and I like, obviously we can have a difference of opinion and have a discussion about it. I think the back line, minus the set pieces, were fine. They were brilliant. I'll ask you another question regarding the midfield, because we saw Gyro come on. We've yet to see Will Hughes. Do you think Gyro was the right sub to make in this game? Because I mean, there's been a lot of debate into that, because he's not played all season, really.
You're right about he hasn't played all season. It probably might be the lack of game time in the Premier League. He might have played most of our friendlies, but I think it's lack of game time in the Premier League. I don't think he was the right sub to come on. I think Luca should have come on, just for that experience in defence, in midfield, sorry. And obviously he's our captain, he's our club captain, and obviously showing that leadership. And if we could have stopped those goals that one goal or 2 goals going in. If we had Luca, or probably kept Chiarte on the pitch maybe. Chiarte is sort of an aerial presence, isn't he?
Yeah.
So maybe we could have kept Chiarte on, maybe. But Gyro was not the right sub yesterday. Even when I was in the away end in the Liverpool game yesterday, I've got to give a shout out. Palace fans were really good yesterday in the away end. We always put out a good performance. I spoke to one of the Palace fans, and they said Gyro's coming on. Interesting. See how he gets along. We were a bit iffy with the Gyro substitution, so I don't think Gyro was the right one to come on. And maybe Edouard should have come on a bit earlier.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Do you think with Gyro that this could be the end?
No, I think the way that Vieira wants to play, I think we could switch it up to 3 at the back, but look, Gyro's still young. Let's not forget that. I think there's still a long way to go. Let's see. We're only 5 games in. Let's do it. Let's see how it goes. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes or what have you. I think Gyro. I don't think it's the end. No.
Cool. All right. You know what, guys? Obviously, if you want to come in and have your say, the links in the chat. I'm going to give you the big screen 1 second, and I want you to do player ratings, like your own personal opinion, your player ratings, and say why as well. Say why you've given each player that rating. So the platform is yours.
Player ratings. Okay. Let's start with the goalkeeper. Gaeta. I'll give him a 6. Made a few good saves. I'll give him a 6. He had a few good saves. Could have prevented some of the goals going in, but he has to stop this punching business, and I think he should have been a bit direct with his kicking a little bit. Ward, I give him a 6.5. No. I'll give Ward and Mitchell a 7. Ward, he did a few good balls over when Edouard came on. He did a few good balls over the top to Edouard, and they could have been goals. So Anderson and Guehi, give them 6s. Didn't have their best games. I think they need to work on trying to head the corners away. Sorry, 1 minute. Sorry, that was. Guy Anderson 6. Could have present. 1 minute. I'll be back.
No problem. I guess that's Robert. So far he's gone. I can't remember what you said for Gaeta. I believe you said 6.
Apologies. Hang on.
Right, run us through that again. So you said VG was
7. No, 7. Mitchell and Ward was 7. Guehi Anderson was 6. And then Gallagher was a 6.
You found it a bit difficult this time around, didn't you?
I think so, yeah. You got overrun with Fabinho in the midfield. Gallagher and Chiarte and who was the other guy in the midfield? Maka, both 6s. And then Wilf, 7. He got into good positions on the pitch. Could have And he put a few good crosses into Benteke, but he could have done better. And then Benteke 6 could have had a few good chances on goal, and then IU probably a 6. He did run the pitch, and then our subs altogether can't really say anything. Edouard probably a 6. Ollie say I'm not going to give rating, and then Gyro probably a 3. Could have defended a little bit. Sorry, that's my rating.
To be fair, there's no need to apologize. I think quite a few people would have echoed that sentiment. But just quickly, Luke, got a massive game Monday week. Massive game. How do you see that going? And what changes would you make, if any?
I want to ask you a question. How do you feel like we should approach it? Do you think that we should attack? Do you think we should throw everything at the kitchen sink?
I think we should just play the way that we're playing. We're playing a lot better than we used to. Okay. Beforehand, we'll probably sit back and try and catch Brighton on a break, but I think we can take the game to them. No disrespect to Mope, but I don't see him as a threat. He does get the odd goal, as strikers should do, but I don't really see him much of a threat, especially now that our back line is a lot more assured than it used to be. So why not take it to them? Apparently, Basuma might be injured. Not 100% on that, but if he is, that's a massive loss for them.
They've only got a week. They've only got 8 days, really. And I think a Monday is probably in their benefit, really. So
yeah. Well, yeah, we'll keep an eye on the Basuma injury, but like he'll be a massive loss for them. But yeah, I'm quietly optimistic. How do you think the game?
I think go out just put Edouard up front with Olise and Zaha on the left and the right. I think just go attacking, really. And then my score predictions, I'm going to go for, as it's Brighton, I want to score a lot of goals against them. I'm going to go for 3-1 Palace. But I want to keep a clean sheet because we have kept clean sheets at home.
Yeah, I think we go 3-0.
3-0?
I think we'll beat Brighton 3-0.
Yeah.
I really do. We're at home. Sellers will be rocking. I'm actually going to try and see if I can get myself to that game, actually. Sellers will be rocking. And I think we'll just go with a different mentality than we usually do. And I think we'll score early and we'll just take it from there. There. But last question, if there's any changes that you'd make, what would it be?
Probably Kiarte for Luca and Edouard for Benteke.
Cool. Wicked. Luke, thanks for jumping on. I'm not going to lie, just talking to someone about it made me feel a bit better.
Thank you.
Big up to you. Take care.
All right, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. Big up, Brad. Worked so hard, this guy, You worked so hard. So listen, sub to this channel. I've asked with Bradley. It's his journey in his aim to lose some weight and stuff, and what he's been doing on that journey, and also United Fan TV, quality watch along, funny guy, always in the comments, always trolling. So look out for him. Dug up to you, Dug Up Football Channel. You know what? Doug, if you're free, click the link. Come over and chat. Liverpool fan here, did an amazing stream with him the other day. Really, really sound guy. Very knowledgeable as well. Very knowledgeable. So good evening, Doug. Thanks for jumping on. I'm going to bring on Mr. Man United himself. What's happening?
I'm gonna talk about. Hold on, hold on. I'm gonna talk about Crystal Palace and Liverpool. Then do this. I'm not gonna do the Sue today. Um. So yeah. The game Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. I really felt sorry for Crystal Palace. I really did. I felt like he deserved the penalty. The ref was crap. Like today against West Ham again. Um. Like you didn't take your chances, and you took a beating
Good
for
point.
it. You took one hell of a beating for it. So, like 3-0 when Crystal Palace were more dangerous. But I felt like he should have started with Eduardo Camavinga. Not Camavinga. Oh,
I wish we
Camavinga,
had
I
him.
said. Eduardo, because, like, I know he missed chances, but, like, you should put on striker from the beginning. So, like, he gets more of those chances. Like he should get more chances. I know you create a lot for him, but like this is a striker. He either takes it or misses it. So like a striker of Edward's quality should have a lot of chances, but like he didn't take them. So like I felt like Crystal Palace fan for that, but I felt like if you could have had that penalty, it would have completely changed the game because I know Anfield and Liverpool will absolutely be all over you, but Crystal Palace have got the characters to like try at least to get a point against Liverpool. So yeah, you were a bit unlucky.
What did you see different from us?
What do I see different from it? Like I didn't see it different because I feel like Patrick Vieira has got a philosophy that he plays on. Like I feel like he's got his own tactics, he's got his own style of play. He trusts most of his players, but now he's got to drop on Edouard to complete his puzzle. I feel so. I feel like the style of play was same. Character was shown, but like once the second goal came in, it was completely done. Like the stadium was all over you. Liverpool were all over you. Like Liverpool had a couple of injuries. Trent was out. Who else was out?
Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson was on the bench. So yeah, and that guy really pissed me off. And when he did this, and the referee didn't even look at him, and like the referee didn't even look at him. That's the worst part because the referee didn't look at him and didn't even notice that was it Benteke who fell?
Yeah.
Benteke was it? So and he pulled like he done this and the referee was on the other side. So he knew it was a pen. But like no, the referee said piss off. And Ronaldo had 3 penalties today. None of them were given. And like, do you know I've absolutely shouted in that Lingard goal, and like imagine seeing like a penalty in the 95th minute. I was crying. Anyway, so
Let's
Liverpool are
talk about
looking
let's
really good today, but like you can write. Yeah, go on.
no, I was
Go
just say
on.
let's talk about your game. Mad last minute or so. Your emotions
I was
must have been
shitting
all over the place.
myself, like yeah, like Ronaldo got the first goal. Like Ronaldo, till now, Messi hasn't scored for PSG. Messi still hasn't scored in the
Let's
Farmers
leave
League.
this Messi Ronaldo
And
debate alone.
but like no, because like people are saying Ronaldo's finished. I don't think neither are finished. Like Ronaldo has scored till now 4 goals in 3 games.
Yeah, it's a good start.
So Ronaldo has been elite. Bruno was amazing as well. But the one who stood out for me today was Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka since Varane came in is absolutely brilliant. Wan-Bissaka has like really improved his game, and going forward as well, he's not getting the assists. He's like Luke Shaw at the beginning, like he was improving, but not getting those assists. I think those assists will come, and I feel like Aaron Bissaka will be better than Trent soon. So and the refereeing, we have to have a debate about this, because like we haven't talked about VAR for a while, and then this week some of those sloppy 3 penalties for Ronaldo today, and you haven't given a single one. Like, it's an absolute disgrace. And like, you're telling me Ronaldo's jumping on the player so he could get a penalty? You're kidding me. And then Zuma decides not to touch the ball and to tackle Ronaldo, but no, Ronaldo fell on himself. Zuma didn't even touch the fucking ball. Like, I don't get what those referees come from. Honestly, I don't get their point of view. Like, what is this? Like, just like the penalty that you have, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, it's not being talked enough, and it should be talked enough, because referees need to have a look about how crap they are. Like, you should know when a player doesn't touch a ball. If you know football, you know that any tackle happens and a player falls and he doesn't even touch the ball, and like, it's a clear and obvious error from the player tackling, so it's a pen straight away. I don't get the Crystal Palace penalty. I don't get the Ronaldo penalties. It's just weird. You don't know the rules anymore.
It's crazy. Let me just address a few comments quickly, Hamza, because one of them's for you as well. We usually get spun and turned over by Paul. Absolutely, big up Nate. Give Liverpool their flowers. They got the goals that won the game and punished us sloppy set piece defending. Yeah, and that was the biggest gripe. I think we're normally a lot better than that with set pieces, you know.
Yeah.
But we were terrible yesterday. Big up Roland in the cut. Pros Only TV says, wait, what?
Just
AWB will be
one
better
of
than
those
Trent soon?
games.
Hands off. Apparently, you said that AWB will be better than Trent soon.
I think so. I think Wan-Bissaka, like, now he's now whipping the crosses in. Like, I know I might seem stupid, but like, I think Wan-Bissaka has still a lot of improvement in him, because like, oh, shut up, man. Shut up. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, you fella, you've just been added to the list as well. What do you mean go to bed? You go to bed. Anyway,
Whilst you're writing your
let's
list,
get back to my point.
yeah,
Okay, so we've got Pros Only TV, which he's gonna get a lot of beating, because I am going to bed. You should go to bed and dream about me. Fucking hell. Anyway, so we've got Brush.
pause.
It's between brackets.
Hamza, pause.
Yeah.
Have a think about that one, mate. What you just said. Nah, it's for your benefit. Like, remember, we're live. Like, I can't pull that. I can't snip it out the atmosphere.
Oh, anyway.
Let's go back. Hamza, listen up. Listen up. Let's go back to football, because I want to bring this last point up. McTominay's come back into your squad, yeah? And straight back into the starting lineup. Now, this is so relevant right now. Like, is he ever going to get a game? Or the chance?
I like that one.
Is he ever going to get the chance?
Like, honestly, I thought it was a shambles not to get McTominay straight away. Like, he came out of surgery, and you still not put Van de Beek. Like, I'm gonna give him the credit today, because today his subs worked. I thought his tactics were good. I thought McTominay played well, but the only problem in the midfield was Fred. I thought Fred was absolutely shambolic as always. So, like, I think that he doesn't like the fact that he would play Van de Beek with Fred because Fred can defend, and he also thinks Van de Beek can defend. Now we don't know this because we haven't seen him play in number six or holding midfielder. So we can't say like he's right or he's wrong. We just need to see if he can actually do that. And I think he might do it, but like we have to give him a chance. And till now, he's not getting the enough chances. And I felt really sorry for him because he was sacrificed as well for the Champions League game. He got taken out. Sancho got taken out. But listen, McTominay was good today. I thought he was really good. Like he brings leadership as well. That's the most thing I like about McTominay. He's big, he's strong, he's a beast. He leads the team. Like he's a leader now. So I'm really impressed with McTominay. But like he still needs to get up his fitness a bit.
Okay. Hamza, I'm gonna let you go there, bro. Take it easy. Shout out your channel.
The United Community Friday shows as always. FPL, talking Man United, talking Premier League predictions. So yeah, thank you for the support. Like the support has been really good last couple of like I have started YouTube for 2 or 3 months. I know it's 30 subscribers, but like it's massive because like I really feel like I'm working on something. So massive shout out to all of you and thanks for the support as always.
Oh, we're good. We're good. All right. Have a good evening, mate. Take care.
See ya, Fab. Thank you.
Right. Next guy I'm bringing on just comes with pure facts. As standard, I feel a rant coming on because we can't defend corners. What's happening, mate?
What are you saying, Rich?
I'm good, man. I feel better now that I've spoken about it.
Tell a lie. I can't even rant about the corners because it's Liverpool. I can understand why we lost. What pleased me more was the performance. Don't get me wrong. The defending was inexcusable.
Yeah.
But against Liverpool, I can forgive it. I can kind of go, it's Liverpool. You kind of expect to lose. We fought yesterday. We lost. Don't get me wrong. We can't escape that we lost. But under Roy Hodgson, it was literally walk in, hand the 3 points, get back on the team bus, don't even bother competing. Just stay on the team bus until full-time whistle.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we caused them problems. The first 5 minutes, we could have been 2-0 up. Alisson had to fumble that Zaha effort off the post. And to be fair, I don't think Wilf got the connection he wanted.
No.
So it was one of those where it's not a Zaha shot, but Alisson somehow has fumbled it. You're thinking, there's no doubt he's a world-class goalie, but that's ropey for a goalkeeper of his caliber.
Very ropey.
Yeah. But there's not an awful lot to be upset about yesterday's result because, okay, it's not nice that we lost, but we competed. And not many Liverpool fans have said, we're going. They've all said that was, even Klopp.
Yeah.
Even Klopp said that was the hardest fought 3-0 he's ever seen. So I understand people might think, all that hard work against Tottenham. Listen, beating Tottenham right now is a formality. Don't read too much into the Tottenham game anymore. Look what Chelsea did today, right?
Yeah,
and look at the contrast between Chelsea away and Liverpool away. Chelsea away, we didn't even remotely get near Chelsea.
No.
Yesterday, granted, we didn't get any shots away that you could argue we should have scored, but we made an effort. And again, the performance, like if any of you've seen Mark Gurley's interview afterwards, they've all seen that. They should do better in the final third. Nobody's going to deny that. But defensively, it was corners that undid us.
Yeah.
Not shots from outside the box, not shots from inside the box. Defensively, Joel Ward had a stormer.
Him and Mitchell was superb,
Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm a man that's been on Joel Ward for a long time. But give people credit when they do well. I'm not in this business of, even if Joel Ward has a part, no, he's still rubbish, get rid of him. No. Right? Tyrick Mitchell, again, need I say more? People kept telling me, he's not as good as PVA. What PVA have people been watching? Because the PVA that went forward and attacked, yeah, we all like that PVA. We all like that PVA. But
PVA
defensively,
PVA got unstuck.
yeah, do you know what I'm saying? But look, I understand. Some people will look at this result and go, oh, but all that hard work against Tottenham. Listen, we're going to have games like this where we do come out rather unlucky not to get something. But it's a learning curve. I can't fault Christian Benteke's effort yesterday. And I'm a man that gets on Benteke the same I get on Ward. I've had a list of players I always systemically used to just slaughter, even if they didn't play that bad. Now I have to give everyone a clean slate and go, okay, give them a fair chance. The one thing I would question Vieira on is one substitution he made, which was Riedewald on for MacArthur. I was thinking, I don't know if that's the one I would make, but let's hope he gets it right. Yeah. And he didn't quite get it right.
No.
Now, Jairo didn't play terribly, but the rhythm and movement in the midfield wasn't quite the same, despite Riedewald showing good energy. If you're going to bring someone on to try and keep that similar energy around MacArthur, you bring on Luca, who, again, is another one on my list of players I love to slaughter for no reason. But, again, everybody now gets a clean slate.
Yeah.
So, look, don't get me wrong. This performance is not ideal, but we've learned lessons from, corners, we need to be locking them off. Or bare minimum, throwing bodies on the line or throwing bodies in front of loose shots like Naby Keita's goal. I was thinking, he won't score a better goal like that in his whole career. But fair dues to him, it's a hell of a strike.
It's a good finish.
Do you know what I'm saying? It's a hell of a strike. I didn't even remotely say, oh, that's a sporting goal. No, listen, it's a hell of a goal. Don't even attempt to hate it. The question is, are we going to see a reaction come Monday? Because that's what our fan base will be expecting. Because it's all well and good beating Tottenham 3-0 at home. That's wonderful. That's great. Beating a big London club in a London derby, wonderful. We beat Brighton at home in the same fashion we beat Tottenham. Oh, mate. And bear in mind, they got lucky today.
They did.
Some hella suspect refereeing going on this weekend. Now listen, luck goes for you or against you. Yeah. We've seen that both last weekend and this weekend. But next Monday is vital.
It is huge.
Bear in mind, under Roy Hodgson last season, we took 4 points off them. Playing awful, negative, brick, the rest house football. Yeah, proper Marmite football. It was just not good to watch. Don't get me wrong, the last minute Benteke winner at the Amex will stay with me to the day I'm dead, because that was just beautiful. But Vieira ball, which we're now starting to see come more to life now, it's insane.
It's so good.
Because as much as I hate to say this, we can't get a Conor Gallagher. As much as I would love for it to happen, he's just playing far too well for Chelsea to not jack up the price to something stupid.
Yeah.
Which they've got every right to do, because he will very much be a player they can bring into their squad next season. But Gallagher, MacArthur, Elise, the midfield options are a joke. We've gone from having a Hovis midfield to having Warburg. We've got proper midfielders and proper options across our midfield now. Michael Elise came on, and okay, he didn't have an amazing cameo, but he added something different to what we were trying to do.
Yeah.
We've still got Ebbs to come back. And this is where do you know what I mean? And people are sleeping on the fact that Eze is still to come back. Because look, obviously, when we lost him at the back end of last season, we were like, why him?
Literally.
Why couldn't it have been a Sacco or one of these men that we don't really care for? Like a player that we're not really that beat up about losing, but no. But I understand that it wasn't amazing to lose, but there was spirit and fight there.
It was.
And it takes heart to go, do you know what? Okay, we lost. Fair play. The correct team won the game. But we just need to be more clinical in those final minute in the final third. A lot of people were trying to expect, Hudson Edouard, why isn't he starting? Slow it down. Slow it down. I'm aware his debut was brilliant, but lads, it was Tottenham. To use that famous quote. Don't get me wrong. it's easy to kind of get carried away and, debut £15 million signing, scores twice on his debut. He should be playing against Liverpool. Benteke did very little wrong.
Yeah,
And
and it's difficult to change a winning side, to be fair.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because if he changes the winning side and he gets it wrong, then the same people saying, why isn't he playing, are saying, why is he playing?
Yeah.
So you can't please these people no matter what decision you make. What I will say, though, is, again, Monday night is the big one. And this is where not being in the League Cup could suit us, because if we'd have beaten Watford, okay, great, we beat Watford, that puts them away for another week. But then we've got to play midweek, and then we've got to play again on Monday. And yes, we'd have a nice little rest period between both games. But from playing yesterday to playing next Monday, not Monday coming, but Monday but tomorrow week, we've now got serious time to what, because our head of development, Saeed, was there today, and he will have made notes on what are Brighton doing that we need to be wary of. Now, Leicester were in a way kind of robbed, so he'll be wary of, don't let people like Danny Welbeck and Neil Mopai get those little bitty fouls outside the box. But it's very important that people don't get carried away with losing to Liverpool, because this Liverpool team have had years to master the element of not necessarily battering a team, but doing enough to win the game. And that's what they did yesterday. We're still learning that trade. What do you think?
And, we'll get there with it. 5 games in, and I've never felt this confident. I'm excited now at match days. Not saying I wasn't before, but now I'm just like, what are we going to do today? Sort of thing.
I know. I see you. Again, remember, you used to dread match days under Roy. Not because it was his fault. He had the tools at his disposal to play with. He can't make champagne out of bloody Andrew's liver salts. Do you know what I mean? He only had what he had available. But the thing is, we cleared out a lot of dead wood at the back end of last season to build what we're building now.
Yeah.
It was going to take time. There were going to be performances and results that we're going to feel, is this the right thing? Are we doing the right thing? The Chelsea game was a fair reflect of that. The majority of our fan base accepted European champions riding the crest of a wave. Chalobah's goal should win you a game of football anyway, because, come on, young kid took a blinder of a hit. It goes in. You can't hate him on that.
Yeah.
Brentford, okay. Admittedly, everyone looks at that and says we should be winning that game. But I thought, they've just beaten Arsenal. They are massively gassed. Big London derby on their own patch. First league game back in the top flight after Donkey's years. Worst time to play them was straight after that game.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't going to win, they damn sure didn't want to lose. And of course, they got the point. The West Ham game, that's when the change happened. Because all the frustration of, Vieira's another Frank de Boer, this and that, it was like, okay, he's another Frank de Boer. 3 games in, 1 point, 2 goals scored. Okay, 5 conceded, but 2 goals scored, 1 point.
Yeah.
Granted, he had 2 points at this point, but you know what I'm trying to say. All these De Boer comparisons were getting a little bit, it's like...
It was silly.
I know you're trying to cling on to it for the sake of clickbait and, getting your little articles typed up on The Guardian and Daily Mail and all of these backwards newspapers that talk a whole heap of waffle. But then the Tottenham game happens, and you could feel the mainstream media were biting their tongue not to praise Vieira.
Absolutely.
Because where Nuno got it wrong, Vieira got it right. And yesterday, Vieira didn't get an awful lot wrong, bar, in my opinion, the one sub between Maka and Gyro.
Yeah.
Not to say Gyro had a bad game.
On that point you said about the mainstream media, it's so evident because there was no mention of the Benteke incident.
Yeah, that wasn't really a shock. Because had it been Sadio Mane or Mo Salah, who are both good players in their own right, it would have been frontline news.
Yeah, this is it.
And I do find it quite ironic that it's Benteke in this incident again, because the last time he was involved in an incident between Liverpool and Crystal Palace, didn't he win a penalty at the White Horse Lane end for Liverpool? Where, if I'm not mistaken, Damien Delaney must have touched his baby toenail.
There was less contact.
You know what I'm saying. Now, look, the game's done and lost. We can't change what's what. We could argue that perhaps Andy Madley is Mark Clattenburg's love child, but I don't want to blame referees out here because that's a negative. That's more Arsenal territory, if you know what I'm saying. They tend to blame referees. Don't get me wrong, the referee was shocking. I've had Liverpool friends of mine say for both teams he was bad. So I've heard they weren't happy with the referee, so neither were we. But I don't like blaming referees because he wasn't wearing a Crystal Palace shirt out there. I mean, he may as well have been wearing a Liverpool shirt out there, in my opinion. But my point is, the players who played for us, our defending on corners was a worry.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know how to feel about that. But I can understand, okay, it's Liverpool. They're masters at taking advantage of sloppy defending. We've got to kind of just accept that it is what it is and go to the next game.
Absolutely. Nate, as always, big up for calling in, man.
Before I go, I do want to say one thing. We know that next Monday is a big one, but the great thing about next Monday is its fans are back in the ground for this one. Because last season in both games, could you imagine the scenes had fans been there for that last-minute winner? And that was at the away end.
There would have been a pitch invasion.
Oh, Christ. I was just thinking, the one time we want fans in the ground and we're robbed. We are robbed of the best moment in the Premier League between both clubs.
Yeah.
I know they're going to hit us with, but knockout. Listen, that guy shouldn't have been on the football pitch when he scored that goal. So don't even try me on that one. But I'm nervous for Monday. I'm always nervous for this game. Even when we're streets ahead of them, I'm nervous. Yeah. But now we've got a progressive style of football, and so do they. So it's going to be really interesting to see.
A very interesting game of football.
You know, and I think we've got the better defense, to tell you the truth, in terms of our centre-back partnership. Fullbacks, I think they have our number on that one to a degree. I'm not going to totally sing their praises because that's making me violently ill just thinking about it. But you know it's the big one, and I can't wait to do a preview for it because people, if there's ever a game you really want to watch a preview for, it's this one.
Absolutely.
But I just hope we take the lessons from the last two games, even the West Ham games from that, and just don't give Brighton an inch. Get in their faces, get into them. Not necessarily murder them. I mean, if we did murder Lewis Dunk, I wouldn't be against it because I don't like that guy. But this is our big one. And there's no bigger a game for Vieira to win where you're like, okay, Patrick, now you've got the fans locked in.
Literally on side, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you've still got those small little minority pockets of Palace fans that are still saying, I'm not convinced, we would have been better under Roy. And I'm thinking, okay, that's an interesting point of view. And Roy Hodgson wasn't doing an awful lot wrong, but you're not convincing most of the fan base to not want Vieira over Roy Hodgson because the performances are improving, the results are improving, and the positivity is infectious. I hate being positive about Palace. It feels weird. I've loved being negative because it's helped me just not get my hopes up.
Yeah,
I watched that game.
It's easier.
Yeah, that game was live over here yesterday, right? We had that live over here in Ireland. I'm watching it from start to finish. I'm thinking, this is positive. What is going on? I should be screaming abuse at the TV. And I'm just going, come on. Oh, come on. At times I was swearing, like, oh, for sake. But it's just like, okay. And then I seen the results today and I'm thinking, okay, so the refereeing standards have not, it wasn't just our game where there was a ref that was, yeah. As long as it's not just us, then I'm like, okay, I can live with that. But no, listen, I'm very happy with the performance, not the result. But if you had to offer me a much more improved performance where we're in the face of a top 16 and we're doing ourselves justice that we belong in this league. Everybody had us written off, they're getting relegated. There's teams that were meant to be well above us, right? Everybody predicted, this team above us, that team above us. They look in trouble. Like Leeds, for example. Leeds have got a very good team, but they look bang in trouble, in my opinion. I'm not saying they will be. But looking at them right now, you're thinking, this is second season syndrome. Which we were fearful of when we first came back into the league. We were like, it's our second season. Are we going to fall victim to Triple S? Luckily, we didn't because we got rid of Neil Warnock after Tony Pulis left and brought in Alan Pardew. The less said about Pardew, the better. But, Rich, I can't lie. I wasn't pissed off that much once I calmed down. Once I finished watching the game and I'd had time to mule in it, I'm like, okay, we lost. Better team won. No issue with that. What pleased me was we performed well. Our defending, for the most part, was relatively far more improved than normal because we normally concede those arsehole goals. You're like, oh, come on. You know, defensive mistakes on corners, you can't justify it, but you can understand it.
Yeah.
But if your defense is parting like the Red Sea and Mane's whipping it into the top corner from stupid range, you're like, really?
Yeah.
But look, it was way more improved, Rich, and there's very little to be negative about, which as Palace fans, we're always negative. We always love to be self-deprecating. It's always, you know, we're Palace, we'll do what we want. But it was just so refreshing to see a Palace team go for it. Even though we lost, we still went for it, and we were still trying to go for it at 2-0 down, at 3-0 down. It was never a case of, oh, well, it's 2-0 now, let's give up, let's drop the flags. They were fighting point after point, although, to be fair, Zaha getting pocketed by Milner, I'm like, come on, Wilf. Normally you get that man sent off every game time he plays against you.
Yeah.
But
100%.
credit to Milner. At 36, he's still doing the business, and that's impressive. But listen, great performance. Not the result we wanted, but an improvement on what we normally see against Liverpool.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
100%. Pleasure as always, Nate. And you
listen,
know,
man,
I'll let you know soon as we're doing that Brighton preview, boy. We've got things to talk about.
Oh, yes. Bring the popcorn, bring the drinks, bring everything. You're going to need a whole buffet for that one. But listen, thank you very much, Rich. Appreciate your time, man. Bless up.
No, appreciate it. Nice one.
I'm out.
Take care. This is it. You know what? That's the thing with Nate, the passion there. I got so engrossed in that conversation, I completely forgot to address the comment section. So my bad. AWB defensive game is better than Trent, absolutely. But his forward game is what lets him down. And to be fair, I'm going to bring on a Man United fan who could chime in on that comment too. PVA got unstuck. I've heard of dad jokes, but teacher jokes. I got a few in my lucky, don't worry. Just a few. Big up Brush, how much you're going to bring on in a second. Doug here saying, you know, it's a good point that Nate was saying that Brighton have got Swansea on Wednesday, you know, and that we will be more fresher. To be fair, regardless of like the physical side to it, the fact that it's Palace Brighton, like energy level is going to be mad. And this is going to be the most interesting derby that we've had because now both teams try to play football. So it could be end to end, you know, could be end to end. Big up Brad, United Fan TV. Why are we smiling? Because we didn't park the bus. That's the reason why. Listen, supporting my club, supporting our club, we've been through heartache. I mean, I guess Ollie had a period of like playing part of the bus counter-attacking football. So you should know what it feels like to attack teams. Shout out to 36-year-old Milner and no other 36-year-old. And no other, okay, fair enough. And no other 36-year-old bowlers. You know what, Milner, he's a seasoned pro, but he had about 7-8 different tackles that were just let go. But, you know, I'm not going to go back into ranting mode. I'm going to bring up my bro, Brush. Doug, I've seen your message that you've just jumped into the house. I've put the link in again, and Doug's a Liverpool fan, so it'd be nice to see the Liverpool intake, the Liverpool side to this to yesterday's game. But Brush, big up, bro.
What's happening, bro? I feel like the scoreline doesn't do justice to how you guys played.
It really doesn't.
Yeah, and it must be so annoying as well that it was all set pieces that you lot conceded. Like, because that is something that can be coached out as well, innit? So that's something that they can definitely address.
That's a saving grace, because I think if we carved open, then I'll be a lot more worried.
Yeah. But that is, But when you look at the scoreline, it's kind of a madness, though. I don't think Palace played badly to warrant a 3-0 defeat.
And this is it. Obviously, you know, with football, it's a game of momentum. It's a game of fine margins. We take one of our chances.
And also, this is the thing, though. These are the kind of games where no one's really expecting you to win anyway. Yeah. The fact that you can come out of it with positives and one or two things that can be worked on and improved, it must give you a bit of confidence.
I'm loving it. Like, because no word of a lie, I looked at our fixture list at the start of the season, and I was like, this starts it's worrying. It is worrying. You know, I mean, the Brentford game, we might have said, okay, yeah, we could try and get something out of that. But to have Chelsea,
But yeah, again, like Nate said before when he came on, like Brentford were on a high, man.
yeah,
And plus, it's that first season bounce, bro. When you first come up and you're promoted, and no one thinks you're going to stay up in it. So they're playing with no fear.
absolutely. You
Bit
know,
of an unknown quantity as well, so they can just
we
go at teams.
love writing off these pundits, man.
Mm.
I don't know. They got to keep our name out their mouth. It's getting embarrassing, man. It's getting embarrassing.
Yeah, it's one of those. You'll have to like look back on it at least till December, innit? Come back December, you'll have a better picture in your head of how it's all going. Because obviously, I know you're gassed about the more attacking style of football and that's great. There are positives, but at the same time, in this league, to stay in it, you need wins and draws. You need points, and that sometimes does come with the more pragmatic, boring football. You know, so it's about finding that balance as well, bro.
It is, but the reason why I'm not angry with yesterday, minus the set pieces, is this is Anfield. Teams go there and struggle bad. We didn't. Against Tottenham, we were the better side. Against West Ham second half, we were the better side. That's 3 tough games in a row, and we've come out of it looking really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Big up Brad. He says that your electricity bill must be crazy with how often you're live. To be fair, for everyone, man. So big up to you. Big up to you. But let's let me take.
And Guaita was unlucky as well with one of them, man. He made a great save, and then it was just unfortunate the rebound.
Yeah, but he should have caught the ball for the last one. I know Kaita's finish was wicked, but catch the ball. You mean you punched it out like? Anyway.
What do you make of Edouard starting on the bench? Are you all right with him just being eased in?
I think it's because of the manner in which we beat Spurs. To be fair, there was no reason to change it. And once again, Benteke, he was all right yesterday. But I do feel, actually, you know what? Because it's Brighton and because Benteke knows that game, I think Benteke will start again. To be honest,
you think?
Yeah.
But then also, if you look at it from their point of view, don't you think they'll be happier with Benteke because they'll know how to deal with him? Whereas Edouard is more of an unknown quantity.
Unknown quantity. It's a balancing act, but we weren't having this.
But that is going to be a sick game though, bro, because they're on form as well. They beat Leicester, so they're going to be hyped. And obviously it's a derby, so both sets of fans and players are going to be up for it.
It's going to be electric.
And like you guys mentioned, you've both got attacking managers now who play positive football, so it should be an entertaining game.
It will be electric. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Nate in the chat saying they capitalized on the defensive lapses and punished us. Take nothing away from us, though. We will cause lesser teams like Brighton and Arsenal problems. The Arsenal slander never gets lost on my show. Always there. And Benteke can rough up Dunk and sit on him 100%. But let's talk about your boys. How do you think the performance was? And you know what's weird? As much as it came a bit late, Ollie substitutions paid off.
It was one of those days where today. It was one of those days where today a lot of things went right for him, and credit where credit is due. I've obviously just come over from KG stream, and obviously he was gassed. He called it a tactical masterclass earlier. I wouldn't go that far. It was kind of bad still.
KG is so reckless, you know.
Yeah. But we know what energy he brings in it, so it's what it is.
100%. What was your thoughts on your performance?
I think we did what we needed to do, bro. Like, obviously the changes he made were decent and that. Ronaldo. When you have Ronaldo in your team, you have to kind of play to him. But that is also to the team's detriment as well at times. And we need to find the right balance with that. Because obviously, if you have Ronaldo, you have to play, in and around him. But then when that doesn't work, you need a plan B as well. And, that integration, I think it will come in the coming weeks and months. But that needs to happen. And we can't just rely on Ronnie.
Do you think that's what's been happening since he's coming like that? You're having to play towards him?
Yeah. And then, but he kind of commands that as well, doesn't he? And, when you look at it already on paper, like he's scoring goals, but that's not enough though, because you need to look at his entire game. And if you look at his entire game objectively, like he's not the player that we used to have, he's not going to be outside the box. He's just a very clinical, efficient poacher is what he is now. Yeah. So all the legwork, you're going to need other people to do the legwork.
That makes sense. Guys, hit the like button. Nate says, let KG have it. I think he needs it after what happened in Switzerland.
Boy. I mean, listen. That even when the groups were announced, I was looking at that fixture like, this is Istanbul from last year, innit? Like, this should be the 6-pointer on paper. And we go and F it up on the first day.
Now, talking about tactical mishaps, Ollie got that one wrong.
Bro, that was a madness. Like, you would have thought we were playing prime Chelsea or Liverpool the way he went defensive. Like, it was crazy. It was crazy. Why are you playing 5 at the back? And not even with wing backs, they were literally, it was literally 5, bro.
Flat 5.
It was literally a back 5. Because that's the thing. Because if you do go a 5-3-2, like, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going defensive.
Yeah.
If you play it the right way. But no, he went all out defensive. It was bad. And then you take out Ronaldo in a clutch moment where you need a goal. You'd think you'd keep him on in it. But yeah, it was all mad. Obviously, there was individual errors as well that didn't help. But I mean, I think both sets of people have to take the blame, both the manager and the players.
What caught your eye today, though?
Togetherness of the players caught my eye. The fact that they've showed a bit of determination and to bounce back the way they did, because it can be very easy to then slip into just negativity. And for me this season, Ronaldo is the difference, bro. If Ronaldo wasn't there today, I can easily see this like not being a win. De Gea even saved a penalty. Like, it was madness.
I was going to mention that. Nah.
Yeah. It was actually a good save as well. It wasn't like a fluky one. Ron's reputation also went against him because I felt that we had like 2 penalty shouts. One of them definitely should have been. And I think if it was any other player, it probably would have been given.
Yeah. The one that I think it was Zuma right before
the Zuma one, I thought it was a dead cert, bro.
But right before West Ham had their penalty, that was clear.
Yeah. I think if it was on any other player, I think they get. I think we get it. I think because it was Ronaldo, and because he has that reputation, things go against him sometimes. But yeah,
this is it. Ollie Dilla Hodgson made a suspect substitution and hope to God he doesn't get punished. And today,
Jesse came on and did well.
Yeah, it's a great.
Again, we talk about that mental strength and that, because it's very for him to go hiding after what happened midweek, because that was craziness what happened midweek. So for him to come on and have that impact as well, it's great for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sancho came on as a late sub. I think you already know how I feel about Sancho, bro. I'm not too worried in it, but obviously there's people already out here calling him Alexis Sancho. It's crazy. Yeah. Listen, the kids come over from the Bundesliga. This is a whole different ball game. It's going to take time.
Is it already happening? Alexis Sancho?
Yeah. People are calling it Alexis Sancho, bro. It's mad.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That is mad. But this is a good point, though, here, West Ham without Antonio, not as scary.
I mean, he is the focal point of their attack, in it. So without him, they're obviously going to look a bit different.
Referees must have hit the Steelers just before this weekend's games. I agree. And Alexis Sancho, you know what?
Mad.
That's sick. Crazy. One last thing, Brush.
Yeah.
Because at one stage I popped out and I was just listening to it. As I was out, and it sounded as if like Donny didn't give a handshake or something. Like, I don't know. There was just rumors of like Donny and Martial weren't happy.
Listen, Martial never looks happy. Like that's just his face, isn't it? Like people get at him because he doesn't smile, bro. Like you don't have to smile in it. It's all
Yeah,
good.
that's
Leave my brother alone. Just because he doesn't smile doesn't mean he's unhappy, people.
But was it true that like Donny didn't offer up a handshake or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna buy into that, brother. It's just nonsense.
Fair dues.
It's
fair
just
dues.
they're just trying to make something out of nothing, especially because it's Donny as well. And any other player, this doesn't even get a mention. You know what I mean? It's one of them ones.
Yeah, but Donny's literally like
Yeah.
he's
Did you
choice
see that interview he did with Rio Ferdinand? Yeah, on Five.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. What did you make of that, bro?
He was literally telling Ollie, play me in the 6.
Yeah. But at the same time, did you see how nice he was as well? And do you think that is detrimental to him? Like, I almost feel like sometimes you have to be a bit ruthless, innit?
Yeah.
And he's just very happy to be there and, like, you know.
I mean, it's all dependent because at this current moment in time, the window's closed, so you can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So I guess he's just gonna have to like save face instead. Because even today he ran to the pitch and he was smiling.
Yeah.
You know what I
He's
mean?
doing all of that stuff, but at the same time, like, I don't know, man. I think it's very difficult for him, innit? Because when he does give these public interviews and that, obviously he's at the club, so he has to conduct himself in a certain way. I don't know if that's how he truly feels though.
No, I think he's best.
Yeah. But that's the thing, though. It's
When
all,
you look at it,
hidden behind the smile.
And Matic all playing before you. And you're a Dutch international. No, that's mad. That's mad. Well, bro,
4 starts, bro, since the start of last season. 4 starts. This is a guy that went to a Champions League semi-final, you know.
And he was the one that was hooked off against Young Boys when he was playing. He was the best player.
Yeah.
Says it all.
I mean, listen, things have gotten so bad that Donny was probably surprised that he got a full 45. Like, even we were like, whoa, he got 45 today. Cool.
It's crazy. He's normally used to 4 or 6 minutes, isn't it? So,
yeah. And then, I thought it was interesting, though, in that interview as well, when Rio was pressing him about playing in the 6. Like, I'm sure this is stuff that the club should know. Like, we know he can play there as a deep-lying playmaker. Obviously, Ollie doesn't want to do that.
I don't know.
I don't understand. For the life of me, I don't know why they blocked that move to Everton.
Okay.
Because on deadline, Everton wanted him.
He's going to play him.
Yeah. Apparently, Ollie's the one that blocked it as well, bro. Why?
Because you know what? Ollie knew that he's going to push Everton up the table. That's what it was.
I mean, even so, like, if you're not going to use a player, would you not want to loan him out so that he can at least, not only gain Premier League experience, but then maybe increase his value too? And then at the end of the season, if you don't want him, you can sell him and at a profit.
Listen, Fred, but Tomini and Matic have Ollie's nudes, man. Also,
there's something going on, man. There's something going on, bro. Yeah,
bro. Big up as always, bro.
Cool. Catch you next time.
Bro. Next time. Nice one. Yeah, big up, bro. It's always good to talk to him, man. Talk to him. Such knowledge. And I'm jealous of his beard. I'm jealous of your beard brush. You know this already. Right. Let's bring the Liverpool insight. This will be very interesting to hear. Doug, welcome to your debut to the channel.
Hello, Rich. Thank you for having me. Hope you're okay after yesterday.
I am. I'm in good spirits because of the manner in which we played. Just annoyed at the penalty decision and the way we conceded the goals. But apart from that, very happy. Very happy.
Yeah. I think Palace fans should be very happy with the way they played. You gave it a very good goal. The first attack, you caused us problems. It was like a short corner. Ball goes back in the box. Zaha gets to it. I think Milner was sleeping. I think that was the only time he sort of was sleeping yesterday. And obviously Alisson, touches it onto the post. And to be fair, the Palace caused us a lot of problems as well. Yes, I think that was a penalty. I was amazed it wasn't given. Especially when it came into the box. Like first thoughts, I thought Benteke had actually gone down a little bit too easily, but actually when you see the replay, Shimikas, he's got that guilty look. He's got that guilty look where he's like, "Not me, ref, not me, ref." So I was a bit surprised that penalty wasn't given. And then the worst thing to do is probably concede just before halftime, because I think you had actually contained us for most of that. 35, 40 minutes. I know we started to sort of come into the game after the first goal, but you had chances. You actually had chances yesterday.
We did. I think in that first half, I can only recall Jota's one, which he should have scored. And,
I don't know how you missed.
Yeah, and Henderson had a decent volley in the first half, which was saved. So apart from that, I think we held our own. And just looking at the corners itself, from when Mo Salah's getting a free header, then something's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you would be like, okay, if it's Van Dijk, then okay, you just have to hold your hands up. But the fact that it's Mo Salah, getting away from his man, and then obviously Gaeta saving it to only put it to Mane, who, I mean, he always seems to score against Palace, doesn't he?
Against us, yes.
Which is mental. I think he's the first player in Premier League history to score nine consecutive matches against the same club. So, and obviously that was his 100th goal yesterday for Liverpool as well. So, yeah, and then second half comes, and again it was most of the same. Most of the same again. I think Zaha did cause us a lot of problems. I was surprised at the team selection yesterday from both sides, really. I thought you would have probably gone with maybe an Elise ahead of Ayew, or maybe Edward ahead of Benteke. But obviously, but then I was like, well, you don't really change a winning team after a 3-0 win against Tottenham.
This is it. Question for you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the moment Keita takes off?
I mean, we've said this so many times with Naby Keita, where he can basically go on a wee good run, and then there's one or two games where you'll be like, yeah, he's in the groove, and then you'll just get the simplest of injuries. The fact he hasn't got injured yet is actually pleasing, but we obviously have to be careful with him. I like the rotation that Klopp's actually doing with, obviously Trent missed the game yesterday. I think he was ill. Milner at 36 is still doing it. We call him Mr. Reliable because he is Mr. Reliable. Tsimikas, apart from obviously that penalty shout, I thought he was very good offensively and defensively as well. So I like the way the Klopp is actually rotating the squad, because obviously 3 games a week is going to be challenging for the players, especially with having Champions League. We've got the Carabao Cup against Norwich City. Klopp doesn't do cups, and it'll be interesting to see how well he actually does against Norwich. And then we've got a very tricky away game against Brentford, who've gone and beaten Wolves 2-0 and looked absolutely dominant in that game as well. And they could have gone out a lot more by scoring a few. I think Tony had 4 offside goals yesterday or something like that. So it's a tough wee run, and I think we're away to Porto, and then we've got Manchester City after that.
This guy was very lucky, wasn't he?
Yes. They're persistent fouling. I mean, Salah gets booked for taking the shirt off. I think Tsimikas got booked as well. I think there's one more player that got booked. Can't remember who actually got booked, but yeah, I was surprised Milner didn't get booked, if I'm being honest with you. But I thought he actually dealt with Zaha pretty well. I think there was only a couple of times I think he got past him. I thought Konate actually had he looked a bit iffy in the first half, but that second half he kind of grew into the game, and I think he kind of outmarked Benteke. Henderson, that was I remember Henderson. Got booked, but I couldn't remember who the last one was. So thanks, Nate.
Yeah, are you worried about Liverpool's lack of squad depth?
I think it's been a bit exaggerated, if I'm being honest. If you look at our bench yesterday, I mean, yes, we had Origi, we had a Minamino, Keita. I think obviously you had Robertson as well. There are very good options on the bench. It's all about squad rotation. I think you will see a completely different team on Tuesday against Norwich. I would be very surprised if anyone from that team plays yesterday. Probably, or maybe Origi, and maybe Minamino will probably come in, and then probably the rest will be, sort of under 23s potentially.
Yeah.
But I do think that we actually do have Scott. The only position I would worry is forwards. Because obviously of the African Cup of Nations coming up in January, so we'll miss Zaha, we'll miss Salah, we'll miss Mane, and we'll miss Naby Keita as well. So you're stuck with probably Jota, Minamino, and Origi. So I wonder if they might make a move in January. I mean, the talk was Bissouma in the summer, but then again, Mali are in the African Cup of Nations, so he'd be going away as well. So, and then I think there's been continuous links with Ismaila Sarr, which I don't get either, because again, he's at the African Cup of Nations. So it was like all these rumors about us going for these like African players just did not make sense because of the African Cup of Nations. So I would probably expect maybe a forward or two to potentially maybe come in January, but January is the worst window for me.
It's the hardest one. Yeah, it's definitely hard. From the outside looking in, what have you seen about Palace that's impressed you?
I think you're better defensively. I've noticed a lot more. I think you're more free flowing as well. That's the one thing I like about you this season. Yes, we can obviously joke about Roy Hodgson, pragmatic. People were. I mean, I've not got much bad things to say about Roy Hodgson, even though he's like our worst manager in Premier League history. But I don't have anything bad to say about him because he came in at a time where Palace needed a steady ship. He came in and steadied that ship.
Yeah,
and he's gone and obviously gone off to enjoy his retirement. Patrick Vieira's come in. Yes, I know the start hasn't been great. But all these nonsense all these nonsense comparisons to Frank de Boer, like those are completely washed away because he didn't win a game. He did not win a game in the Premier League. So, Vieira's done that. Albeit, I know I was against a very poor Tottenham side. But before the red card, and I think I said this on Yanks of the Cop the other night, before that red card, Crystal Palace were all over Tottenham. So, I like the fact that you're actually attacking teams more. You're actually giving it a go. You're not sitting back. You're not sitting up to soak pressure and catch us on the counter attack. I like the fact that Vieira has come in and actually it's completely new. You're playing a 4-3-3, which I think is really, really good. Yeah. And you've got Edward now to give competition for Benteke. You've got Elise on the other side, and then obviously Menezes comes back. You'll have him to give competition for Zaha. I think you've got a very, very good side there, and I honestly don't see you in any relegation trouble. And I think for the magazine 442, I think they need to apologise to Crystal Palace fans by saying that you're going to finish 20th. Give over, ain't happening.
Yeah, we've had a lot of disrespect over the summer. Talk Sport were talking about us. And just leave off. Just absolutely leave off. I guess last thoughts. Mo Salah. He just can't stop scoring, can he?
His numbers are astronomical. I think it's 101 Premier League goals and 163 appearances, which is insane. Absolutely insane. I think he needs one more goal for 100 Liverpool goals. As well, because obviously, him being at Chelsea previously, but his numbers are just getting crazier by the minute, and he will definitely be up there for a top scorer because he's very rarely injured, very, very rarely injured. So I think he will take some. Obviously, we can talk about. Obviously, I think Ronaldo will be up there because he scores goals for fun at this moment in time. But it's whether or not he can stay fit, and it's whether or not he can actually play every single game. I think with Salah, yes, he'll obviously go away for the African Cup of Nations, but he's probably likely to go on another goal scoring streak because we're heavy reliant over him. I keep saying this every single match reaction or match preview. We're very heavily reliant on Salah. Mane and Firmino need to buck up the... Well, okay, Mane scored yesterday, but Mane needed 10 chances to score against Leeds last week. So at least Mane is getting into those, those positions to, get goals. And yes, yesterday, it's a very good finish because it's high into the roof of the net. Guaita can't do anything, but no, I think Salah will definitely be up there by the end of the season for top scorer.
Yeah. Lastly, because you mentioned him, what's happening with Bobby?
It's a funny one with him. He is injured at this moment in time. There is slight rumours that he could potentially be coming back for Norwich. I hope that's not true because you want him to fit. I think if he's no fit for Norwich, I reckon he'll be fit for Brentford. If he's no fit for Brentford, then I think he'll be fit for Porto. But Jota seems to be ahead of him in the pecking order this season. He started at Norwich. I think Bobby came in against Burnley and came off injured, and then obviously Jota started ever since. Origi didn't get a look in for the first sort of 3 league games, and then suddenly gets picked against AC Milan as well. So Bobby is going through a spell where he just can't seem to buy a goal at this moment in time. But when he scores, I'm pretty sure it's like Mane. If he gets a goal, his confidence will go sky high. If Bobby gets a goal, his confidence will go sky high as well. But yeah, as I keep saying, we are heavily reliant on Mo Salah, and I think it's about time other players stepped up.
This is it. Right. Gosh, an hour 38 minutes. It's flown by, absolutely flown by. But thank you for tuning in. I mean, just a bit of context. Met Doug. When did we meet? Monday. Yeah. Since then he's jumped on 2 of my streams, including this one, and I'm definitely going to be supportive of his channel as well, which I would love you to promote and just let us know of any upcoming things you're up to.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is called the Dugout Football Channel. It's a basic Premier League channel. I do Bundesliga content. It's basically a basic football channel. Basically, I do Premier League, Bundesliga, SPFL, obviously Champions League. Probably going to do League Cup as well. So do match previews, match reactions, as well. And yeah, I am a Liverpool fan, but I try to be as unbiased as possible. So obviously come and check me out. That's my Twitter handle there at enrod_1992. You can also find me on Instagram at Douglas.Horn, and I'm also on Facebook at Douglas James Horn.
Thanks for that. I'm really bad at forgetting to put people's descriptions in the comments. So message me on Twitter every day until I've put your channel's description in the comments. I'm so bad with it, but I'll make sure I get it done.
No problem. And I do appreciate you having me. And yeah, I think Palace will be fine. I know you got a big game on Monday, and that is going to be huge, absolutely huge game. But there is talk. I think Basuma might have came off injured today. So I think if he's out, that's a big blow for them. But I think the refereeing this weekend alone has been shocking. I always like to banter Manchester United fans whenever they get a bad decision, but you have to say that Ronaldo, that was a penalty. I'm sorry, Zuma is nowhere near the ball. Ronaldo goes down. That is a definite penalty. And you know what? I think West Ham made a bad decision today in bringing Mark Noble on because he wasn't ready. Wasn't ready to take that penalty.
You would have thought they would have learnt from the England final. Like, you can't come on and take it. You're cold.
No, absolutely not. You've only got like a split second to basically decide, and I just think it was the wrong decision. Yes, you can do that for like goalkeepers. I know Van Gaal famously did it for Holland, I think, against Costa Rica in the World Cup, I think in 2014. Yes, you can do that, but when it's an attacking player, when he's just come on the pitch. Yes, it can happen at some points, but
Yeah.
the one thing you don't do is basically put somebody on to take a penalty because that's their first touch, and if it's missed, it's missed. But Martin Noble has been very, very good for West Ham, and he's been very, very good from the penalty spot. But I just feel that David Moyes made a big, big mistake.
Yeah, I think sentimental value kicked in there, and the romance, and you just win. You get your point. Could have come up with nothing now, but
yeah,
this is what the difference between good and great managers.
Absolutely. Yeah,
right. Doug, no, thanks for coming on.
Absolute pleasure. Take care, and get. I hope your channel does really, really well, and I'll obviously keep tuning in as well.
Yeah, likewise. I'll do the same with you. Especially
Cheers.
now you
Take
got
care.
Bundesliga content too. I need to make sure I'm on that.
Aye. I love the Bundesliga. I really, really do. Thank you for having me. Take care.
Take care.
Take care. Cheers.
Yeah, well, listen, guys, this is it. Like, I didn't actually think it would go on this long, but you know what? I love talking football. You lot love talking football. For everyone that's been in the comment section from minute one, big up to you. For those who are going to obviously watch this in the near future, big up to you too. Smash the like button, share the stream. I'm Eagle-Eyed Football. It's late. I've got to teach tomorrow morning. But it's a big week coming up with Brighton preview. And obviously we'll have another episode of Get Apps next Sunday. And then the Brighton match reaction, I'll do the following Tuesday night. Definitely need some time to process that one. Because we're going to win. We're going to win. I want to get as much Palace fans as possible. I'm saying it with my chest. I think we'll beat Brighton. Don't clip this. Listen, big up to all of you. Appreciate the love and support as always. Take care.